Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaopen.com. Welcome to another episode of Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I'm so delighted you're here with me today. Today I am just going to do a quick channeling of messages for you. I will also be pulling a few cards for you to give you some messages of guidance for the week. One of the messages that's coming through loud and clear is that there is change coming. Change is coming for most of us, and whether it is in the form of changing jobs, changing relationships, changing where you live, there is big change coming in, and it is to serve a purpose. It is to put us on the right path. And what I heard loud and clear is, let not your heart be troubled, and give us your worries. Trust that the universe is guiding you and that the universe has your back. Sometimes when we go through these transformations, we actually end up losing people out of our lives and sometimes jobs and situations, and it all happens for our highest good. However, it can be very difficult to feel that way when you're going through it, because loss of anything or change can be scary and it can also be painful. And I remember whenever I have gone through breakups in the past, I knew as I was going through them, they were for my highest good, but that didn't stop the pain or the hurt or the wanting to grab my phone and text that person every time I got up in the morning, because it became a routine for me when I was in a relationship with someone to text when I got up, text in the middle of the day, text in the evening when I wasn't around that person. And it became habit. So when the breakup would happen, I'd want to reach for my phone or I'd want to get a text, and none of that would come. And one of the things I think it teaches us is that we have to be reliant on ourselves and not on others. Although we are people who want connection, the original connection comes within us. We have to connect to who we truly are before we can connect to others. And we can't allow anyone else to validate us or to be our reason for why we get up or why we do what we do. And oftentimes we put that responsibility on someone else, and we completely give other people our power. We're all guilty of it sometimes. And what the universe wants you to know is, as you're going through this time of adjustment and change, the reason you're going through this is to get back to the source of who you truly are and to remember who you are, that you are a loving, worthy, deserving person who deserves to live the best life possible. And if you're not living that life, the universe wants you to go inward and to think about why. Why is that happening? Is fear holding you back? Do you still have those limiting beliefs holding you back? What is it that's keeping you from being your best self? And again, this is never easy. Reflection isn't easy. Breakups aren't easy. Changing careers and jobs is not easy. Moving is not easy. But what the universe would like you to do, if it's at all possible, is to try to look at those situations with excitement for what could be. What could be the next chapter in my life if I go within and I do the work and I reflect and I figure out who I truly am and what I truly want. Because it's all about getting to know your innermost self. And for many of us, we're so busy with life, we don't take the time to truly know who we are. So this is a call from the universe for you to reflect and go within and understand more about yourself, so that when you meet new people, new partners, get in those new jobs, move to new places, you find and attract your tribe and the right people in your lives and the right situations for you, instead of just kind of wandering through life and being halfway fulfilled. So I hope that makes sense, and know that even though change is coming, even though things may happen in your life that you didn't necessarily want, it is happening for your highest good. And there is a purpose behind it. And it's time to reflect and think of, what is the purpose? Why is this happening? Get curious about it and think about how this is shaping you. What is it teaching you? And try to look at it as not an ending, but merely a chance to shift, a chance to transform. If you can look at it that way, then the possibilities for what could come are endless. All right, I wanted to pull a few messages for you, so I hope that these helped, and I use various different cards here. The first card that came out is, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Again, a lot of the shifting and changing and transformation that we do is because we are healing our past. We're healing our old wounding. And you can't get through life without healing this. I mean, you can, but you're going to keep repeating the same patterns of behavior over and over again. So you need to work on the healing. Next, we have surrender frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more clearly. I love that. And yeah, sometimes it's just looking at things differently and trying not to play the victim in everything because it's easy to do and we tend to want to do that. So take a breath and look at it from a different situation and ask your angels and guides to show you what it's really about. And then you have receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others, but now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. The next card that came out is share your trials and triumphs. Others benefit both by your story and your living example of transformation. Yeah, so we need to learn how to be able to receive as much as we give. And we need to learn how to be open and share our trials and our triumphs because that is what helps people. I was being interviewed for a podcast the other day, which I will be very happy to share with you once it airs. And the host said, one of the great things, she said, I actually listened to your podcast. And one of the great things about it is that you share your story, which makes it easier for others to understand that they're not alone. And I love that because that's exactly why I did the podcast in the first place, was to help other people to realize that you're not alone. There are others out there going through what you're going through. So perhaps reaching out or even sharing your own story, then you find other people who also have been in similar situations and can perhaps offer you insight or just a shoulder, someone to lean on, which we all need at times. All right, and then the last card I pulled is be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. And I love that. And it's so true. You give away your personal power so much when you care what others think and rely on other people to validate you or to bring you to balance. It's not about other people. It's about you. And it's about bringing back your own personal power. So many times, especially when we've experienced trauma as children, it's all about the fact that we haven't had any power. We didn't have power to control what was happening to us in those situations. So healing often is about learning how to take your power back. And that's what the universe is asking you to do right now, is to take back your power. And the way to do that is to go inward and to honor your true authentic self and to be unafraid to be your authentic self. So I hope that those messages resonated. I hope that they help you. Remember that you can do anything. The universe is asking you to surrender and accept the change that is coming and to accept it with grace, to not be resentful of the things that are happening, but to understand that they happen for a purpose. Everything serves purpose, and pain especially serves purpose. And I know that gets old to hear sometimes, but it's absolutely true. It's what we learn from the times where we feel the pain. It pushes us, it makes us stronger, it helps us to learn more about who we are. It causes us to go through and find those triggers and understand where they come from so that we can heal the original pain. It's all about triggering the wounding, and I understand as you go through this journey you're like, I'm tired of it, I don't want to hear it anymore, the wounding, it's annoying. I get it. Unfortunately, that's why we came here, and it's part of the journey. And you can totally choose to ignore the wounding. You absolutely can. You don't have to heal it, but you're going to keep repeating the same patterns of behavior if you don't. And I say that with all of the love that I can muster, because I just know it to be true in my heart. I've seen it in my own life. And we get triggered in order to help us understand what we still need to heal. And I pray that for you, this healing is easy, it's met with grace, that the angels and guides surround you and protect you and show you the way. And of course, call on them, ask them for help, ask them to guide you, ask them to protect you, ask them to show you how to do things in an easier way. And I truly believe they will. And know that the change that's coming is actually a good thing. It's positive. It's going to bring positive things for you. So don't resist it and don't feel frustrated by it. Instead, try to accept it and trust that the universe is always working on your behalf, because it is. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a beautiful day today. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me. I love hearing from you guys, and anything I can do to help you on your journey, I'm happy to do. I am sending you guys so much love and light. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.